Hi, in this video, I'll be explaining about chapter 3 of the book Transportation Management with SAP TM. So first we have an introduction to master data in SAP TM. So this is a foundation for various logistical processes like order management, subcontracting, and shipment costing. So it is actually essential for defining business relationship and organizational structure, which is required for transportation management. So the SAP TM allows efficient mapping of transportation network and available resources, which are actually crucial for logistic planning and execution. So SAP TM operates independently and also integrates with SAP TM. It also leverages master data to drive operational efficiency and data consistency. And we have the roles of master data in SAP TM. So the SAP TM and master data in SAP TM supports both planning and execution stages of transportation management. For third-party logistics, which is a 3PL, which actually provides primarily offer transportation services. So the key advantage is that it has the ability to create transactional data with a minimal set of master data. So in scenarios where there's financial or organizational processing, it's actually very critical for the system to integrate seamlessly with SAP ERP to like provide a full set of master data, which will actually uh, enable comprehensive logistical and financial processing. So this is the master data menu. And next, I have the organizational structure in SAP TM and SAP ERP. So this is the fundamental in mapping an enterprise with the SAP system. So these structure establish the operational framework that actually governs logistics and financial process, which actually reflects the legal and organizational setup of the company. So these serve as the foundation for data organization within the SAP suite, which allows for diverse perspective of on the master data according to different functional business area. So by defining legal, geographical, or organizational boundaries, so the organizational master data also facilitates the creation of original models which are essential for transportation process. So this structural representation not only actually clarifies responsibilities among various units, but also provides a full framework for all the business process. So in this figure, it gives how the integrated organizational structure actually appears when utilizing both SAP ERP and SAP TM. And this actually sets up the stage for detailed exploration of the components in next slides. And then we have the mapping organizational structure in SAP TM and SAP ERP. So this is actually this image actually shows various organizational unit that actually contribute to functioning of logistical service provider. So here we are using the example which they have used is Sunshine Logistics. So in both SAP ERP and SAP TM, these units are characterized by specific roles and relationship, which actually facilitates operation. So operations, the organizational structure actually can range from a simple setup to with a single employee to a complex hierarchical structure in a large enterprise. So this is organized into three primary categories like sales, purchasing, and planning and execution. So each category has various sub organizations such as sales office and purchasing groups, which actually handle transaction related to forwarding orders and service order as well, and fleet booking. So the corporate organization serves is the highest level within the structure. You can see it here. And next to that, company code in the SAP ERP is also the highest level in the structure. So this hierarchy actually maps to organizational responsibility and streamlined process, and also enhance the clarity of operation across the multiple regions and services by actually providing best service and optimizing the management of logistical services. And then we have the organizational structure. So in SAP TM, it actually enables the creation of an organizational structure to represent a company's legal and geographical boundary. So this structure is very important for defining rules in the transportation management process. Organizational units in SAP actually helps specify logistical functions such as planning, sales, and purchasing. Each unit plays an important role in ensuring that business transactions are executed within the defined framework. So this image actually gives the organizational hierarchy of the logistic service provider, which is the LSP within the SAP TM framework. So this hierarchy is actually structured to define roles and functions of various organizational elements. So which also ensures that each unit is assigned appropriately based on its designed designated function. For example, so organizational unit engaged in sales must have corresponding group unit role linked to office unit roles, which then gets involved in purchasing or planning, and can be connected within organizational units that carry a organization unit role. So as a new organizational units are created, the system establishes a business partner as well, which enables seamless integration within transactional document. So this interconnection is very important for effective workflow management, which allows employees to be assigned to specific roles such as tendering managers or purchasing agents. So this also facilitates structured process and efficient handling of tasks within the organization. And next is the creating and merging the organizational hierarchy. So in SAP TM, it's actually important step for integrating it with SAP ERP or SAP SCM. So this process actually facilitates by specific report available within the SAP TM interface, so which can be accessed through the transportation management uh, path under master data organizational management and organizational model, under which we have created merge organizational hierarchy, and through which this report will be allowed to be accessed. So this report actually allows us to like upload the existing organizational structure and display the hierarchy and create corresponding elements in the SAP TM organizational model. This also streamlines the overall integration process. So to like effectively upload and merge organizational hierarchies, certain prerequisites must be defined in the source system. So users need to actually establish key organizational elements such as sales and purchasing organizations, along with their respective office and groups. So additionally, SAP SCM system execution and planning organization must also be defined. So by like specifying relevant parameters like company code and organizational units, so users can actually selectively transfer these elements into SAP TM organizational hierarchy. While elements can be modified before saving, and any adjustment post save must be handled directly within the organizational model, which also emphasizes the need of careful planning during the integration phase. And then next is the product master data. So this actually refers to the classification, identification, and characteristics of the material, article, and services. So this data is very important, for various business processes such as purchasing, sales, and logistics. So the product master represents the material and articles actually distributed by a consignor. So and it's often contain a unique identification key, characteristics, and quantity specification. So this data is generally maintained centrally in the SAP ERP and then distributed to other systems like SAP Transportation Management. Then we have the product master data in the SAM. As you can see in the figure, it shows product master data record for a finished product that is actually that was originally defined in the SAP ERP and then transferred to the SAP TM. So this actually represents the material involved in logistical process and how product data flows from SAP ERP to SAP SCM system, which also enables accurate tracking, ordering, and delivery of products. So next we have the dangerous goods, how they are handled in SAP TM. So these are actually regulated substance that actually require careful management during the transportation, due to like their hazardous nature. So SAP TM actually supports the management of dangerous goods by actually allowing users to like create master data records for these records. So these actually include information required for checking compliance with national and international regulations and ensure safety transportation process. So which also so necessary checks are performed at various stages, like including freight unit creation and routing optimizing and many other things. And in this first image, you can see this is the dangerous goods indicator in the product master data. So this actually highlights whether product contains hazardous substance and if it requires a dangerous goods check during the transportation. So this also demonstrates if the whether the indicator is found in the product master data, like it specifies in the storage tab and how it can be triggered and how it can trigger checks for safety and compliance. And this is the dangerous goods master data. So this master data contains critical data as specific regulation, validity area, and transport modes for hazardous products. So the figure shows how dangerous goods are like used in master data, like to classify the product like liquid fertilizer for transportation in accordance to legal regulation. This is just an example. And then I have the structure of the dangerous goods parameter. So the structure of the like the figure actually outlines the key information to like handle material during transport, which also includes classification codes, physical characteristics, transportation restrictions, and safety measures as well. So next is the assignment of classification codes to classes. So the structure. So So, dangerous goods are classified accordingly to international regulations, and the assignment of classification codes is very important for determining how goods should be transported. So, this classification actually helps in identifying risk and determining safe handling process. So, the figure actually shows how classification codes are assigned to different classes of dangerous goods. So, this assignment is part of SAP SEM configuration and helps determine transport restriction based on the classification of the product. And then we have the phrase management. So this in SAP TM, it actually allows companies to manage language dependent warnings and safety instruction related to dangerous goods. So these phrases are stored in phrase libraries and are used to create dangerous goods documents and reports. So this figure actually shows how dangerous goods are goods phrase can be edited within the SAP TM. These phrases are linked to the master data for hazardous material and used for document generation, particularly when transporting goods across the borders. And then we have the business partner. So in SAP TM, this actually refers to any person, organization, or entity within the company within which they conduct business. So business partners are classified as customers, vendors, or any other parties as well, which are involved in the supply chain. So the SAP system enables central management of business partners, allowing for integration of multiple roles within one partner master data object. This centralized data management prevents duplication and actually allows for easier role specific data maintenance. And then we have the business role partner, which actually assigns roles to business partners to define their specific function within the system. For example, a business partner could actually assume roles such as customer, carrier, or freight forwarders. So each role may require unique information like location data for a ship to party or financial data for billing. The role concept actually allows for efficient data management. So as a business partner, information remains constant throughout while role specific data can be added or updated independently. Additionally, business partner roles such as employee and driver roles are actually important for internal and operational tasks. This is about business partner role. And then on the business partner master record for the customer. So here, this is used to store key information about customer which actually interacts with the company. So it actually includes details like customer address, tax classification, identification number. So the master data record. So the master record is like the central to execute transaction in the SAP ATM. And then so the carrier profile for an ocean carrier. So this carrier profile defines specific parameters such as transportation capability, service levels, routes operated by the carrier. It also helps in planning, dispatching, tendering process by storing important information related to carrier services. So in business partner master record with the carrier role, so this contains all the necessary details about the carrier and which are critical for subcontracting, planning, optimizing transport process, and carrier specific parameters such as transportation equipment are used and maintained here. And then coming to the next slide. So about employees and internal organization. So when defining the organization of a company in SAP TM, so employees and organization units are actually created in business partners. So these internal organization units are used to handle various transport related transactions. So the business partner with a driver role, this image actually is used when we are defining business partners with role of the driver. So this actually indicates qualification, availability, and task assignment for transportation execution. So the business partner and relation definition for employee, this setup actually allows for defining hierarchies and relationship between employees and the business partner, which is actually important for managing tasks like tender, invitation, or assignment role. And then we have the configuring the integration. So this is the integration between the SAP TM and SAP RP, which is actually facilitated by the core interface, which is the CIF. So this actually enables transfer of master data like products and business partners between the two systems. So this image actually shows the transferring master data between SAP ERP and TM. So this master data synchronization between the master data synchronization between the SAP ERP and the SAP TM is essential for executing transportation related process. The CIF actually facilitates the transfer, allowing automatic update. And then we have the integration with SAP Enterprise Asset Management. So the SAP TM integrates with SAP Enterprise Asset Management, which is also EAP, to ensure consistent resource planning and management. This integration is very critical for managing vehicles and transportation equipment. And then we have the transportation network. So the transportation network in SFTM defines how freight is transported between location. So this also includes nodes, lanes, schedules, and transshipment location, which is all together created to optimize a transportation plan. And then we have the location. So the location in SAPDM represents how a physical place or where goods are loaded or unloaded. So these are very important for nodes in the transportation network and serves as a source and destination for fleet. So here the image is actually maintaining a location. So this actually shows how location data involves are entered in the geographical coordinates. And relevant details about the fleet is loaded and unloaded. So these locations are essential for routing and planning as well. So next is defining and the inbound and outbound resource for allocation. So inbound and outbound resources are defined for locations to manage logistics, such as loading docks or terminals, which specify what type of equipment is used at the site. And then I have defining means of transport dependent inbound and outbound resource for location. So specific resources linked to means of transport are actually defined for each location, optimizing process based on type of transportation, such as air, road, or sea. So the next slide is about transportation zone. So transportation zone represent a group of locations. So these zones help in actually maintaining the transportation network in a manageable form, reducing complexity. Zones are actually created based on postal codes, region, and countries, and are actually crucial for transportation lanes, trade lanes, and schedules as well. So the first image is about maintaining a transportation zone. This actually involves specifying zone names, description, and location assigned to them. So these zones are like essential for setting up lanes and trade lanes. So next is the maintaining the transportation zone hierarchy. So this actually helps in grouping transportation zone into a structured network. So this setup actually allows better management of distance, duration, and optimization of the distance as well. So then, so this image, the choosing the transportation zone hierarchy, structures the network by creating a relationship between zones. A higher level zone inherit all locations from lower level zone, facilitates efficient and charge calculation and optimization. So next is about transportation zone lanes. So this define how goods can be moved between locations. They include start, destination, um, and means of transport, along with distance, duration, and available carriers. So these lanes are crucial for planning and executing transportation activities. So the mass creation of transportation lane image shows. How SAP TM provides mask maintenance tools for creating transportation lanes. We can also define multiple lanes by creating existing lanes as templates, which helps in streamlining the lane creation process. And then next image is displaying the transportation lane. This is displayed in the SAP TM showing necessary details like a means of transport and distance between location. And this distance helps in visualizing and managing routes and transport options. And then we have the schedule. So this is define how goods are transported along the predefined route, which include departure and arrival times. And schedules can be maintained for various modes of transport like air, ocean, and road. And this first image shows carrier flight schedule with location sequence and two departure rules. The carrier flight schedule in SAP TM actually defines the sequence of location and departure rules for flights, which helps in planning and optimizing the cargo transport. So next image is carrier flight departure with schedule with departure. So this figure shows how flight schedules are maintained with specific departure and timings. So these schedules are crucial for planning air freight. And coming to the next table, it's departure rule for connection master flight. So this departure rule defines the schedule timing and help combine multiple flights into a connection flight schedule, which is actually necessary for managing complex routes. And then I have the road carrier schedule departure rule table, which actually defines how the roads carrier route, including location sequence and time for departure and arrival, are needed to facilitate over the land transportation. And next image is road carrier schedule in general data and location sequence. Departure rules for road carrier schedules automate the process of actually setting departure and arrival times, making route planning more efficient. And then I have the road carrier schedule for departure and actual stop sequence. So this schedule manages the sequence of stop along a road carrier route, helps in detailed planning of departure and arrival. And this is the sailing sequence or the gateway for container fleet station and location sequence. So this shows how sailing schedules are maintained for ocean transport, with gateways acting as container fleet station. And then I have a schedule upload report. This allows users to like upload schedules in bulk via reports, helping manage large set of transport schedules more efficiently. And next I have the schedule deletion report. So this is similar to uploads, but provide mass deletion for schedules, helping maintain only relevant data in the database. And then next is transshipment location. So these are locations where goods are transferred between different transport modes or carriers. So SOPTM manages these locations to optimize multi-modal transportation. So this table is defining transshipment location assignment. So the assignment are actually ensure that the goods are routed correctly through the intermediate points in the network, facilitating smooth logistic. And then we have the transshipment location assignment. So this assignment is efficient for planning, especially when dealing with complex or multimodal transportation. And next, I have default routes. So these are actually predefined pathways used to simplify transportation planning. They actually serve as a baseline for goods to like transport between location. So this table is actually shows how default routes are defined in SAP TM to like streamline transportation planning process. And next, here we have creating fleet unit stage. So this represent individual legs of shipment, which SAP allows to create stages to manage the transportation process in this segment. And then creating transportation unit stage, which is actually similar to fleet unit stage. Transportation unit stage helps to break down the journey of a transportation unit into a manageable section. And then I have creating forwarding orders and selecting schedules. So these are divided into stages, and the schedules are selected for each stage, like to plan of goods efficiently. And then I have trade lanes. These actually represent geographical routes along which business is conducted. So they help structures in transportation agreement and used to like optimize carrier selection. So this image actually shows how trade lanes are defined and used in SAPTM, like to transport to streamline transportation process by connecting location via optimized route. And then I have transportation network cockpit and overview of the POWL. So the cockpit actually provides a geographical view of the network, while the overview of the personal object worksheet, which is a POWL, helps in query and managing the network data. So the this image is the transportation network cockpit, which allows users to like view and maintain transportation network like zone lanes and routes on map. And This is a transportation network overview of the personal object work list with the query of our master flight schedules, which also provides user-friendly interface to write queries and display flight schedules for transportation planning. And next, I have integration of geographical information. So this GIS tool are integrated into the SAP TM to like enhance planning within accurate geo coordinates, distance calculations, and route optimize. So the base functionality for this includes a optimization, carrier selection, schedule management, and fleet unit planning, which is supported by integrating GIS tool. And the integration and technology helps other SAP systems like SAP ERP and SAP EM for seamless data exchange and provides comprehensive transport management solution. And then I have resources in SAP TM, which actually includes transportation unit and other equipment, which is used to like move the goods. So these resources are like managed to ensure optimal usage. And then I have vehicle and trailers. So these are managed part of the transportation unit. So each vehicle has attributes like capacity and scheduling for planning. And we have means of transport as well. So these actually refer to the type of transportation used like road, air, or sea, which actually allows managing different transportation modes to like plan shipment accordingly. So the relationship between the transportation mode and resources is shown in this table, which actually refers to the type of transportation refers to the how different transportation modes are linked to resources to manage the flow of goods. And then we have configuration of transportation mode in SAPTM, so defines how transportation modes are actually used within the system for efficient planning. And then this table is the means of transport configuration in SAPTM. So this shows how means of transport like vehicle or vessels are like configured on specific lanes or routes in SAPTM. So next is the example of means of transport of hierarchy. So this shows how transportation modes are helps managing routes and resource help effectively by grouping related transport types. You can see trucks are grouped here, ships are grouped separately, and they have a hierarchy here. And then the vehicle groups and vehicle types. So SAPTM classifies vehicles into groups and vehicles based on the capacity, attributes, and roles in the transport process. So the figure also shows the vehicle group and type for a rail car. So shows how the configuration of vehicle groups and type specific to rail transport, including capacity details, are everything is shown here. And then next is the vehicle combination. So the vehicle combination helps in managing multi-trailer setups such as road trains or any articulated trucks. So the maintaining of the means of transport combination. This is a table which this feature actually allows defining combination of transport modes for specific lanes, and then I have maintaining the duration of coupling and uncoupling. So this shows how time duration for trailers or rail cars are configured for a articulated schedules. And then I have compartment and capacity. So this actually allows SAPTM to define the compartment for transportation unit, such as fuel tankers, which ensures capacities are allocated based on product type. And then this image shows the compartment type and profile structure. which helps in allocating space for different type of goods. So then I have maintaining compartment tab. This image shows accurate allocation of capacity in vehicles with multiple compartments, such as fuel or chemical tankers. And then I have resource capacity. So this actually shows the maximum loads for vehicle or transport unit which can be carried. Which like with proper management of this data, it's very important for planning. So this table actually shows the decreasing capacities, which refer to the adjusting vehicle capacity over the time according to wear and tear or any regulatory changes. Um, and then we have the calendar and handling resource. So the calendars are used in SAP TM to manage operational hours and availability of resource, including transportation unit and handling equipment. And the calendars are defined for specific reasons or location, indicating operation hours and periods of availability for transport activities. And then we have the calendar resource to schedule airport downtime. This shows how calendars are actually applied to manage downtime at a specific location in like a airport. And then we have handling resource. These are used to like manage location loading and unloading activities at the location. So these include forklift, cranes, ramps. So the handling unit image shows how SAPTM defined for equipment like loading, unloading, or moving goods. And then I have transportation unit resource. So the truck unit actually represents a physical unit like vessel, truck, or which actually move goods between two locations. So the transportation unit resource, this figure actually provides how transportation units are defined and managed within the SAP TM. And then have equipment group and equipment type. So this SAPTM group equipment actually helps in grouping them based on functionality and helping efficient allocation and planning transportation. So the image shows equipment configuration, like how equipment is configured within SAPTM to meet specific transportation needs. And then we have the defining resource, which includes transportation units and handling equipment, how they are defined for efficient transport and logistic management. And then I have resource classification, which allows like classifying resources based on attributes like capacity, fuel type, and load capabilities. And then the resource type in SAP TM. This image shows how different type of resources are categorized based on their functionality and transport capacity. And maintaining a vehicle record. So vehicle record are maintained in SAP TM, which allows transport planners to like assign specific vehicles for transportation tasks. And then I have a definition of resource classes. So these resource classes group similar to, resources such as task or rail cars based on their attributes and roles in the transportation. So the resource attribute in SFTM helps define specific characteristics such as vehicle dimension or fuel type for efficient transportation planning. So the image, which is a resource viewer with a 3D truck visualization, helps uh, us to like view resources in a 3D visualized format, which also helps in capacity to us to understand the capacity and planning and vehicle allocation as well. So this is like maintaining physical properties in the resource viewer. So this feature actually helps manage and adjust physical properties of resources, such as dimensions and capacities. And that's pretty much about chapter 3. Thank you.